Shay, an interior designer and DIY lover. Today, with my friend Adam, we're going to show you easy steps on how to install Easycraft panels on your next install.
But before you do that, ensure that you have a qualified electrician to remove, modify or disconnect any light fittings or power points and have them taped up and in a place where you want them to go.
The next step we need to figure out is how many panels we will need.
To do this, we simply measure the width of this wall and work out how many panels we will need to fit this space.
Each Easycraft panel is 1200mm in width. Our wall today measures 3.7, so we will need to divide 3.7 by 1200 to get the total of 3.08, which means we'll need 4 panels to cover this entire wall. Now measure the height of your wall. Our panels can range in heights, so if your ceilings are tall or you want a dado feature, we have one for you. In this case, the wall is 2420 in height, so therefore the 2400 panels will fit in perfectly. And there you have it, measuring done. We need a total of 4 panels of 24 by 12 to complete this wall.
And you can repeat this process if you have any other walls that you wish to cover in Easycraft panels.
And just a hot tip, if you have any offcuts, they can be used on any other project within your home. We will be using the offcut from this wall on our plasterboard wall. Okay, first things first, before purchasing your Easycraft panels, you need to decide what profile you're after. A great place to start is the Easycraft website, with loads of inspiration where you can download brochures and explore more options for your next project. So for this project, we're using Easy VJ 150 for a classic and timeless look and feel. There are a variety of amazing profiles depending on the design you are looking for. From our classic range all the way to our silhouette range, there's definitely a profile for you. There are hundreds of suppliers around Australia where you can purchase your Easycraft panels from. Let's jump on the Easycraft website. Navigate to the top section where you'll see the tab Where to Buy in the top menu. Simply enter in your suburb or postcode and find the closest supplier to you. When you locate your closest Easycraft reseller, find out if they have your panel of choice in stock or if they need to order it in advance. And in this case, our local supplier had Easy VJ 150 in stock.
And they delivered it to us.
When handling the panels, make sure you have a friend.
The panels can range anywhere between 22 to 33 kilos.
Alright, all of our panels are here. Make sure to place them in the area that you're installing and let them sit for 48 hours. This is to make sure the panels get used to the temperature and relative humidity of your space. And while you wait for the panels to get acclimatized, you can get started on the next steps.
Here we have an open timber framed wall and one with plasterboard. Although they look very different, we're going to be using the same tools for both applications.
The tools that you will need are a circular power saw, a drill, a jigsaw, a hammer or a nail gun, a pencil, caulking gun, a spirit level, and a tape measure.
You will also need some materials such as nails, flexible construction adhesive like liquid nails, sealant or gap filler, spack filler, sandpaper, and spacers.
And of course, have your PPE gear ready. Dust mask, safety glasses, and earplugs.
Make sure you have all your tools at your disposal. It will not only save you a lot of time, but it will make your job a lot easier.
Now let's get these walls prepared. We have a stud wall, and being able to see the studs makes our life so much easier. So we're going to mark at the top and at the bottom. Also, we have measured the panels to space them evenly to avoid any cuts on the V-joints. That means we will have a couple of panels finishing in between studs. Therefore, we need to insert some extra noggins to give some strength to the joining area.
And make sure to measure your wall height in a few places in case it is a bit out of plumb, and mark your panels if they need to be trimmed.
Now, if you're dealing existing walls like this one, we need to be able to find the studs to nail into. We could do it the old-fashioned way,
but today we're going to be using a stud finder.
To ensure the adhesive works at its best, clean up the wall with a clean rag to remove any dust, oils or elements. Alright, now we're ready to get installing.
For this wall, we know we're going to need 2 full panels, while using the other 2 panels as 2 smaller ones on the side, and we're going to avoid cutting on the V-groove.
To do that, find the centre of your wall and measure it backwards by increments of 1200 mil. That will give you even cuts on both sides. Transfer the measurements to your panel and make sure to mark on the back side. This will help with a clean cut and avoid any splintering on the front side. We are going to place the board on top of 10 mil spaces to allow for expansion. If you do install to walls that have cornices, make sure to cut the end of the board that will be closest to the floor and leave the manufacturer's edge to the top of the wall or to the cornice.
So, as you can see, our panel is level, but the wall isn't. We've got a massive gap at the top and nothing down the bottom, which means we're going to need to use a technique called scribing. Find your largest gap and find a piece of scrap that matches that exact width. Then, using that pencil and your scrap, mark the line the whole way down. Alright, take 2. We're back, we've scribed our piece in, fits beautifully now, it's time to fix it off.
Once you're happy with the fit, grab your adhesive and give it a generous amount around the edges and down the middle. Rest it on the spaces and push it into place. Hold for a few seconds and then grab your nails and hammer. Measure and mark up where the electrical needs to be pulled through and cut holes as required. Do a quick test to make sure and adjust anything before adding glue. Grab your next board and repeat the process, ensuring a good fit.
I can't just call you when the moon is rising. I'm craving every moment with you. I can't just need you when the tides are turning.
Alright, all done.
All done.
That's all the boards installed perfectly.
And you can use these same techniques in any wall in your house.
Now to prep for painting. Okay, first things first, we're going to deal with these nails. You want to punch them at least 1 mil below the surface and then fill them with wood filler.
Check over your panels and make sure that no nails are sticking out. If they are, grab a nail puncher and give it a little tap to sit at least 1 millimeter under the surface.
Grab your wood filler and fill in any holes from the nails. Once it's dry, give it a light sand so it's smooth and blends with the panel.
Alright, when it's time to gap fill, make sure you get one that's paintable. As a tip, try to use a wet or a damp rag to help clean, as it avoids the smearing.
You may find where the panels meet together, you will need to use a little bit of gap filler to create a seamless paint finish. Just a reminder that we've removed the cornice and the skirting off both of these walls. One being because this is a plasterboard wall and this is a stud wall with no plasterboard behind it. We did this so that the 2 walls marry perfectly and then we'll install the cornice and the skirting afterwards.
And we're done.
Alright, that's all of our panels in, ready for paint. So just a quick recap. We've done a 10 mil gap to allow for expansion. We'll be popping skirting and cornice on both top and bottom. We've punched in all of our nail holes and we've filled all of our gaps.
Awesome, we're ready for painting. Thanks very much for watching. Catch you on the next one.
See ya!